According to U.S. Today, the NCAA has revenue of $1.1 billion for 2017 in NCAA college sporting events. Even with all that revenue, college athletes are still not being paid. I believe college athletes should be paid because they get paid as much as professional athletes because the funds they're making and are working just as hard to perform well and bring in money for the schools. Being a college athlete takes up so much time and amongst others in their day. Some take up more time than part-time jobs and full-time jobs. You have practice once, maybe even twice, and then you have weekend practices, which you can't go home and see your family. Then there's also games, scrimmages, open gyms, banquets, and many other events that you have to attend, which take up a lot of time and preparation. Most athletes have to go to study table, which is basically a group homework session, so all athletes perform well, and if you need help, you can get help from like a tutor, or maybe a coach can help you, or maybe your other teammates that taking the class or that's good at the subject can help you. And it assures you that everyone has team grades up necessary for everybody to play and nobody will have to sit out. Athletes have to spend a lot of time studying to keep their grades up to a certain level, or they're benched or suspended. And when you're suspended, like if you're at the D1 level, if you're suspended and you're trying to go to play overseas or play professional, then they don't look at you anymore. And if you're at like the JUCO level, like with NIAC, it's like a JUCO, then D1s and D2s look at your grades. And if you're suspended because of grades, then they tend to like throw you out and then start recruiting somebody else. And most athletes at the JUCO level wants to play at the next level and beyond. They have study table helps them ensure that all their assignments are turned in on time, and often participate to get called back up if you miss classes for games, or if you take trips for like a game, like say you have a tournament across U.S., then you miss a bunch of classes for that. There are also many hours outside of basketball that athletes spend practicing and working on their own game. The more often that each athlete is in the gym working out, the better chance they have of playing and more playing time that they have given to them. This is not only help athletes stay in shape, but helps them be the best athlete as they can and perform at the level that they want to perform and that their team needs them to perform. Some athletic programs also require that their athletes participate in a certain amount of community service hours per school year, which also takes up a lot of time throughout the year. This often does not include helping out with things that mandatory events, such as helping coach for younger kids and camps and etc. Other major reasons that I think college athletes will benefit from being paid as the amount of money they have to spend on various things throughout the season. There's a lot of expenses college athletes aren't covered by scholarships and FAFSA. Not every school is able to give out a lot of money and scholarship money for college for students to have to pocket for whatever their FAFSA doesn't cover or their scholarship doesn't cover. So like if they missed dinner time because they have practice or they have a game, and then they don't have money in their pockets because they can't work because you spend a lot of time practicing, and working takes up a lot of time too. There are also other expenses that pile up throughout the season, such as getting gear, getting shoes, food, making sure you have clothes, and like buying like holidays, like buying presents for people, and many other things. Little things you don't necessarily need, but definitely would help, such as gloves, tape, wrap, muscle rollers, machine roller things that like hits the spot of your pain and stuff. Other expenses would be gym memberships. Like a lot of athletes tend to buy memberships for them to keep working out when like the gym is closed or they can't get into the gym. So like say you have practice from 1 to 3, and then like the gym is closed from the gym closes at 6, but you have to go back and study your homework because you have a test at 5, and the gym closes at 6, and then but in town there's a YMCA or a Planet Fitness. Like those athletes tend to buy memberships for those places so they can keep working out and they don't fall behind others, because if you're not working, there's always some kid that's trying to outwork you, and they want to stay in shape, and you want to be the best athlete as you can be. There's medical costs, so insurance, because if you get injured, you need insurance for your insurance to pay for it. Because if you pay for the hospital bill, or if you have something tearing or something, you have to have surgery, that costs a lot of money out of your pocket. And normally college students tend not to have a lot of money in college. So paying for insurance every month, and paying for car insurance just in case you bring a car to campus, like, that's also very important. And if athletes are getting paid from their school for bringing that money, then they'll be able to pay for those. But I think the biggest benefit would be the fact that since these athletes are now getting paid, they will have money to pay for their expensive. This will allow players who can afford to pay these costs to be able to be part of them. I think this will also help many people go to play sports in college instead of stopping after high school. Kids think like, oh, college is so expensive. Like, they want to go to their dream college, but it might be too expensive. So they won't go there because they're like, think about the money. And if you get a scholarship, but you don't get a full scholarship, you get a half scholarship, and only pays for half your college, and you don't get enough FAFSA back, you have to still pay for half college, and college tends to be a lot expensive. So kids tend to not go to the college that they would like to. Then they go to a college that they don't want to go to, and then they tend to stop going because they don't like it as much as they would have liked it at the other college, but it was too expensive for them. Many kids feel like they have to get a real job right after college and not waste time on college, because people feel like it's pointless if they're going to spend a ton of money, and not get any money out of it. And so if you get paid in college, then you think about like, oh, it's worth it. They're going to pay me if I be an athlete. So more kids are trying in high school to become an athlete for college. I think this would be a lot of benefits to what will come from playing college athletes. This would allow more people to be able to continue their college careers with the living and the expensive, without worrying about the expenses.